Number 2,
Okay.
Menon, Van Nunley, and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle,
Amory Castillo.
This is Two Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Mike's hot.
It's Wednesday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? It means the boys are at the McLeod YMCA. Let's
Yeah, baby.
get out. Come here. Come to the intersection of Tramway and Comanche. Do that. Hang out with your boys.
Fred, I'm not a rich man. We know this.
Fred, I'm not a rich man.
But out of the kindness of my heart
yes.
and a little soul,
Uh-huh.
a free month to any friend of the show comes out here while we're on air.
Oh, I like that sentence. I like what you just did there.
Or I'll make you a special deal. I'm getting my swole on after this.
Ooh.
You come here before they close today, you grab me and say, hey, it's me, Rick, the friend of the show.
Yeah, new.
I want a free month. And I'll be
Yeah.
like, arm in arm. Let's go to the front desk.
I also want to be a part of the YMCA. And I would say, well, I'm already the M.
Go on.
Nah, that was kind
You're a man because you're a men's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, ladies,
Yeah.
it's not just for young
No,
men's
it
here.
is not.
Young men's and women's.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Yours was as bad as mine.
What was it?
Yeah, I was giving you the opportunity to shine there, brother.
Okay.
Did not go through. You also know what today means. Oh, Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. Isaiah.
Hey, Zay.
Yes,
How are
yes.
you?
Glad to be back. I missed you guys.
Oh, we're good on that. We don't need that kind of energy.
What?
If you're not watching with us on YouTube Live or Facebook Live
Mhm.
or wherever, you're probably hacking it. If you're like super cool, like a super cool kid, you don't want to pay exorbitant prices.
From the TV movie Hackers.
If free is too much for you
Mm-hmm.
and you're hacking this thing, Zay is wearing a 21 jersey.
Yes.
And I don't know if that is Deion Sanders, Zeke Elliott,
Let me.
or I'm dyslexic and it's Roger Staubach.
Okay. I'm not impressed by
Yes.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Elliott Page.
Come on.
I don't care about other people's football jerseys at all. That is not a thing that has ever mattered to me.
Well, when I put it on, I didn't say, I hope Fred likes this jersey. But what I did think is when I put the jeans on, instead of the sweatpants, that was for you, though. But the jersey absolutely was not for your approval.
The only thing that needs approval today for us from you is the acceptance of Negro League statistics with all-time Major League Baseball statistics.
Hey, boys, we
Had me in the
officially
first
got a
half
new
there.
goat.
The whole game has changed in the world of baseball. And low-key, too many people are upset about this.
Way too many.
I don't understand.
Predictably.
Yeah, I do understand. But I don't understand to the level of the hatred.
It is
Yeah.
ample.
It wasn't in the MLB. Why are MLB stats in there? And it wasn't in the MLB.
Okay,
Shut
well,
up.
that's like the only good retort right there. That's like the only good one. Anything that's not that one,
No, the one I most heard is because
It's
he's
just-
black.
yeah, it's just clouded racism is all it is. You're just hiding. You took your hood off for a
Yeah.
minute to talk baseball.
I am not about that one.
Yeah.
And you'll hear like sports pundit, and they're like, well, okay, well, now that I know the numbers, because I didn't know them before,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just have different category. What? No,
Mhm.
no, it's just baseball. Baseball. Josh Gibson. Who?
The new GOAT
Of
officially.
all time.
Yeah, let's go. Suck it, Babe Ruth. Josh
The-
Gibson's in town.
Babe Ruth's not even he's not even in the mix anymore.
No, he's like not even on Rushmore.
The list now ends with Ted Williams. That was a lot of people's start to the list.
That's right.
Looking at the list originally, I'm just looking at batting average leaders, but we can go on about any number,
Yeah.
right? Because this is the one where there's a new GOAT. So Ty Cobb was there, then Roger Hornsby, who I know very well, but I don't necessarily know if all sports fans.
More than one Roger.
Rogers.
Hornsby.
That is correct.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He played for the St. Louis Cardinals, which is the only reason I kind of have a clue who he is. I've
Mhm.
never heard of Ed Delahanty. I don't know who that is.
What?
Who is that? Is he new?
Yeah, he's new.
Okay.
Yeah.
So put him on the list. Tristram Speaker, I'd never heard of. Ted Williams.
Oh,
obviously.
Tris Speaker's a legend.
Oh, was he? Where? What team was that for?
The North Okeechobee
Yeah.
Purple Legs.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So these are the guys that you kind of knew of historically, and now the list looks like this. Josh Gibson. Who?
Goat.
Ty Cobb. Oster Charleston, which is a sweet name.
Oh, man. That's a dance move, isn't it?
That's what it's a dance move that's won an award. And then Roger Hornsby falls back into the list. Judd Wilson, who is inevitably from the South. Turkey Steams.
Yeah, sweet.
That's a real name.
Goated name for sure.
Ed Delahanty, who we mentioned, a cat named Buck Leonard, not sure who that is either. And then Tristram Speaker, Ted Williams. But the conversation is being had. No. We'll count it, but it's like a different one. We're counting it.
Right.
It counts. But it was a different league.
That's the problem. If there is one, also good on Major League Baseball for doing this. That's the only thing that I have a problem with is they weren't playing in the same league at the same time. Again,
They couldn't.
there's very, very good/bad reasons why these stats.
Which reasons do you think were good, man?
Well, not the ones you're alluding to. That's for sure.
Man, which
What-
ones?
I did see one person make a good point. They said what's uncomfortable about this situation is that like if you go off the baseball, like Fred was saying, it's just baseball stats. But like technically back then it's not like the league was separated because of a skill gap. It was like a racial thing. So technically both leagues didn't play each other. So like the best talent never got to play each other. So like they just kind of. So it's like if their stats are irrelevant, then I feel like the MLB in those years stats are just as irrelevant because they didn't get to play each other.
That's exactly it. Josh Gibson didn't get to hit off a guy who worked at the meat packing plant overnight.
Hey, I'm going to go one better for you boys. Let's throw Japan in there, too.
Oh,
Hey, let's throw Korea in there.
Dude, Sadahara O,
Let's go, dude.
all-time home run leader immediately.
Let Ichiro.
Ichiro together,
Yeah.
the all-time hits leader
Let's
in
go.
Japan and Major League.
I mean, I want them all.
they got some elite outfielders, don't they? Japan.
Sure.
Elite
They
everything.
had elite everything.
Yeah, elite everything.
The only elite.
Also, if we're doing this too, can we put my Albuquerque MABL stats in this too? Because I had a good run. I had some really good pitching numbers.
were you paid?
in the
Because I think my
mid-aughts?
my definitiver
Uh-huh.
is were you paid?
In beer.
See, and that's why, because I
Yeah.
think if you pay the rec fee, then no, it doesn't count. Now, if you get paid to be there, I think it counts.
Okay, so my 2 months of Mexican Baseball League stats should count.
That counts.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
that counts.
I got shelled. I don't want those stats out there.
It doesn't matter. That's
Yeah.
that's what's going into the book.
Ugh.
Now, Major
Let me
League,
go find my Mexican League stats.
because Major League Baseball owns minor league baseball, I'm going to say those don't count because I know those guys aren't playing to win the game. They're playing to rehab the game. They're playing to
Mhm,
adjust to the game.
Mhm.
Don't count those.
Yeah.
Hey, but give me like Pioneer League. Give me Frontier League. Give me all of the major league. Anytime a dude has been paid to play baseball, probably not the Savannah Bananas. It's a different rule set.
All you got to do is add one more search tab to Baseball Reference. That's all you got to do. MLB all-time official stats.
Only.
Add an extra tab.
Yeah.
You can have all-time stats, which anybody who got paid to play baseball should be there. Negro League should be there. And then, hey, if you want fancy pants, Mr. I don't agree with this, click the tab right next to it that says MLB only and look at those stats.
I like that MLB.
On Basketball Reference, you can look up NBA and ABA stats together or separate. I think you should be able to on MLB.com or Baseball Reference or wherever you want to get your stats. Grow up.
I want all the stats. I only
And-
care
and
about facts. That's all I care about.
I feel like a lot of people that are upset also, like, they're failing to realize, like, again, like, I saw somebody compare it to, like, if you were to add G League stats to the NBA. And it's like, no, because the G League is actually a level lower. It's not like there was, for instance, say, like, all the foreigners had to play in one league, and then all the Americans had to play in one league. And then you just now added those stats together. Like, that would make much more sense than adding, like, G League stats to NBA. So that's also a bad angle I've seen a lot.
Also, I need to learn a lot of new names now
That was my big
because the Immaculate Grid just got so much harder.
I'm going to say this.
Mhm.
Ric Flair is a 21-time world champion. Forget the stupid 16-time that WWE claims.
Okay.
He won chips in the NWA. He won chips in WCW.
9 minutes in,
He won-
Isaiah.
I'm just saying.
9 minutes in.
How are you going to sit here
He
and tell me?
comped this story to professional wrestling.
It counts. There's a range from 16 officially with the WWF/WWE all the way up to every other top tier promotion. If you look me in the eye and tell me Thunder is not as great of a champion as Cody Rhodes, I'll call you a liar.
Okay.
I'll tell you right to
I
your
wasn't going to
face.
say that because I had a lot of other things to say. But yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Put Japan in there. I'm being serious. I'm not. There's no punchline here. Put Japan in the mix,
Why not?
and then you
Also,
add a third one.
Add a third search
Yep.
tab.
And
Yeah.
but this one says post segregation, and this one says post World War II. Like
Yeah.
you have two tabs.
Oh, we have 4 tabs because we got BC and AD Jackie Robinson.
Yes.
Because that's when the stats should start.
Well, and
So
all,
I hope this isn't a terrible question. Were people in Japan, like, allowed to play in the MLB back then? Like, was that?
oh, you
like, was
think
there a rule?
racism only went to black people?
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't know if they
Yeah.
were. I mean, I know as far as America was concerned, but, like, I don't think there was many, like, Japanese people that may have came and were trying to
Well,
play them
no
because they
one-
weren't in the Negro League.
So no one played baseball, Isaiah, until we took them over in war. This is very
Okay.
historically
Yeah.
accurate.
hmm
Baseball does not exist in countries that have not been conquered by the United States of America.
Oh,
Same
okay.
thing with England and
All right.
cricket.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah. So you have to keep really good perspective here.
Sure.
Japan, they lost a war to us one time.
Yeah.
Therefore, they're good at baseball.
Japan, Korea.
That's
Mhm.
simple.
Vietnam rejected baseball because they
Correct.
won the
They
war.
won their war.
Otherwise, Vietnam would be playing baseball at a high level too.
We beat up Mexico one time. What did
Yeah.
they have? Good baseball.
Sure.
Canada, do they have baseball? Not for real. Couple
Yeah.
good players, but I mean,
Oh
it's not.
It's wild how good India is at cricket.
Yeah, I can't
Okay.
believe that.
Wow. Australians, boy, do they love cricket.
Conquered.
They're conquered by England. It's not a secret.
So I'd like to spend all of today while we're here at the McLeod YMCA celebrating every single one of Ric Flair's championships. That's what I'm trying to get.
That's what we're doing here.
You
You went
don't-
from
Yup.
classic Anglo. Fred goes from celebrating Josh Gibson to Ric
I
Flair.
gotta figure out who Josh
And
Gibson
it's
is.
16 belts.
21. Let's.
Oh. Sorry, 16 is Triple H, right? Or am I wrong again?
Oh, I swear to God, dude. So you're all right. So I just looked up Josh Gibson.
He the GOAT. Welcome, the new GOAT of baseball, Josh Gibson.
He died in the 40s.
In his 40s or the 40s?
Dude, he was only 35 when he died. That sucks. I'm gonna legitimately spend today telling people who Josh Gibson was because I know no one knows. Isaiah, who is, by the way, black, has no clue
For
who
those who
Josh.
don't know.
Yeah, for those who aren't aware, you've never heard of Josh Gibson until today.
Also,
Well,
shout
it
out
was
to
yesterday.
a friend of the show, Josh Gibson, from the press club.
It was yesterday. I
Not
heard
the
about
GOAT
him.
of baseball, but a good dude.
Played for the Homestead Grays in 1930 to 31. Moved to the Pittsburgh Crawfords 32 to 36. Returned to the Grays 37 to 39 and 42 to 46 and 37. He played for the Ciudad Trujillo in Trujillo's Dominican League from 40 to 41. Played in the Mexican League for the Azules de Veracruz. Gibson served as the first manager of the Canjereros de Santa Cruz, no clue. One of the most historic franchises in the Puerto Rico Baseball League. So there you go. Also, could hit it,
Yes, drop bombs historically.
could swing it.
Yeah.
and I have no idea who this human being was, and he's the best one to ever hit a baseball.
That disappoints me a little bit that your Josh Gibson familiarity is so low. Wait till I tell you about Satchel Paige, my friend.
So that one I'm familiar with.
Oh, okay.
So Satchel had the stories.
Because they let him into MLB for one game when he was in his 50s.
Allegedly.
And he almost threw a no-hitter.
He's probably in his 60s.
Yeah.
Also, Josh Gibson only lived to 35. Like, Satchel Paige, I think, is still playing.
He could be.
I think he's
could
still in the mix. So there you go. So, won Triple Crowns and stuff.
We have a friend of the show, Hoon, wants to correct you, nice gentleman, about some Japanese baseball.
All right, hold on. Whom?
Hoon. H-U-N.
Okay,
Hoon.
all right. So
Okay.
it already seems like a good source. Friend of the show, Hoon, welcome our new Japanese baseball expert.
Hey guys, I was listening to you guys talk about that, and if you look in the baseball history books, the MLB sent out a all-star team to go to Japan and play the Japanese players in 1938.
Okay.
And if you look up, there's a hero named Berg, who actually spied on the Japanese during that tour,
So sweet.
and he actually helped win the war
So
because
sweet.
he was a reserve catcher, and he took lots of pictures of Tokyo and all the other parts.
That's
But yes,
awesome.
the Japanese actually played baseball before World War II.
God, I love this.
That's such a good fact. Hoon, thank you so much, brother. Oh, I love that.
Also, Hoon and whoever else wants to call in and correct us, please do.
Also, we're not being literal on the start dates of baseball in other
For
countries.
sure.
We're talking, this is very much more a concept kind of
Right.
idea.
Also, it's still very true.
Yeah, it's incredibly accurate. When we get back from the break, we got a special guest. It's 2 Men On as we are live from the McLeod YMCA today. Head down Tramway, make your left or right on a Comanche. We're about a block off. Come hang out. Van will help you get set up with
Yep.
1 month free on He, and we'll tell you about some of the other fun amenities and going-ons here at the club. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
For more than 50 years, Clark's
I
Pet
gotta
Emporium
cycle
is
this thing.
their weekly stop. Friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products.
Mark Lewis joining us on the program. He is the director from the McLeod YMCA. Mark, welcome to the program, brother.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so the Y is open every day. It's the absolute best thing on earth. We come out here but twice a month. People ask about us when we're not here. Like, what's the energy?
Hey, they do.
God, okay. I like that.
You know, I'm the early person in the club, so I get it secondhand. But yes, they're always talking.
Okay, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, secondhand, man.
Secondhand info. That sounds made up, but I'm into it. I like it.
No, it's all
Do a
true.
lot of people show up off hours when we're not here? Like, Van said I could have a free month.
Yeah, do they do that?
Also,
Yes.
friends of the show do that. Like, totally do that.
It'll
But
work.
you know what? We want them to come in.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out, and
The big-
preferably.
The big one is the Safe Summer Fun starts at the Y. You can get that 7-day free trial and the 505 joining fee. It is about as much appropriate summer fun as a kid can have. A little bit, Mark, talk about just how easy it is here at the McLeod.
I was paying attention to members.
Yes.
Please
Yes.
repeat.
The-
No, easy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's easy. Just walk through the doors. That's the hardest thing you have to do.
Well, and I'll tell you this about people who try to distract you on radio. You just don't look.
Yeah. Don't
It's,
make eye contact.
No. And
Yeah, I'm splitting roles here right
they
now. So
scald themselves.
You know what you do at the red light at an interstate on ramp? Same thing.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
look.
same
don't.
thing. Don't make eye contact.
Mm.
It'll just enable them.
You're not waving me into traffic, brother. That's not how it works.
good point, man.
Keep going. 505 joining fee during May. May's about to wrap. Obviously, June's
Yep,
right around the
final
corner.
days.
And school's wrapping up for everyone. So what does that mean for the Y? School wraps up, and then how does it change your demographic?
Then we're full speed ahead. You know,
Yeah.
the summer is all about the Y. Summer camps, specialty camps, swim team, the fitness area, you name it, we've got it. So
I mean, talk to friends of the show in the Heights. Like, what do we have here at McLeod that you can't get Midtown at Horn? If you got like a kid that wants to do X activity at either one, which ones does he come here for?
swim team.
Swim team?
Yeah, that's a Monday through Friday practice. You know, half of them are in the mornings, half of them are in the evenings. So nice split, but then it's part of the Sundance Aquatic League that has, I believe, 10 teams in the association. So there's one swim meet a week, typically midweek or a Saturday. But if you want your kids to know how to swim and be proficient and have fun, that's where you want to put them.
It's a super important thing to know.
Yeah, it's something you enjoy the rest of your life.
My father, for all of his wonderful qualities, was hydrophobic because of an awful thing that happened in our family.
Water wouldn't
And
stick to
I
him.
lived next to the Gulf Coast outside of Houston, Texas, and I didn't know how to swim until I just got thrown in the water one day. So, like, let your kids learn the easy way with professionals
That's
here
right.
at the McLeod
That's right.
Y.
How do you guys feel about those newborns that they'll have them like learn how to just float in the water? Are you pro that, or you think it's a little too early?
You know,
What does your insurance say?
we don't do it here necessarily, but we at the time we had parent and baby classes,
Okay.
and I know a neighbor with a family pool had done just that, and she was a fish out in the water, so
You guys know this, for years I ran a municipal swimming pool, and I ran a bunch of them over there when I ran the sports and wellness. And like Mommy and Me or like swim babies classes are super cool. They're
Yeah.
super cool because number one, allows mom to like get in and move around the water too.
Mhm.
But for kids, it's, in my opinion, the quicker you get them exposed to the water, the more comfortable they are in the water. And my personal story is, I grew up in open water. I grew up in rivers and creeks and ponds. That was kind of like my origin story of learning to love aquatics. But in my opinion, with that, it's so much better when it's structured and when it's supervised and when it's safe, the way that it is here at the McLeod. There's always a individual that knows how to help you if you're in a situation. I heard this one time from a first responder when I was running this little swimming pool. They said, hey, this person was breathing just a little bit ago. We can help them get there again. And I was like, oh my God, like this is the most eye-opening thing I've ever heard. So yeah, if you're going to expose your kid to the pool, I would encourage you, Isaiah, do it sooner than later. Also, Isaiah doesn't even know how to doggy paddle, so this is a fun question.
That's a good guess or assumption. I don't know what would cause you to assume that, but I'm actually a very good swimmer.
Mhm.
But no, I asked because I've seen videos of like those parents will literally like just to show off, they'll just toss their newborn in the pool and they'll just start floating.
Self-right. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Wild.
Yeah, I'm not that adventurous with my kids, or I wasn't. But they've learned to swim and they're enjoying it. So
Summer camp is Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Okay, and then you have to come all day every day, or how does that work?
No, you don't have to,
Okay,
but
most do.
most do, and they have a lot of fun doing it. So why not?
I never did like a camp. I feel like it's like my one thing I missed out on as a kid.
Same.
Do you have to go the whole summer? Can you just come like a week at a time?
You'd want to come the whole summer,
Yeah.
but yeah, a week at a time. You register, reserve spot. The camps are filling up, so if you're planning on doing something this summer, you should probably get in here.
Already have done it.
Pick up, yeah, honestly. But we still have some spots available, and sooner you come in, the better selection you'd have.
And if you already have a family membership here at the Y, the summer camps cost double. Is that correct? That I've heard. Is it?
Other way around.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, that's way better.
Oh, so it's significantly cheaper for
It
everything.
definitely makes sense to have
okay.
a membership, and then mom and dad can exercise after work, and kids can go into our kids zone and do arts and crafts. We try to make it so that there's something for everybody in the family to do.
And then this one is always the truth. Financial assistance available through the YMCA,
Mhm.
ECECD. Did I get that right? ECECD.
Yep.
So if you're familiar with those contracts, they're accepted. You don't do it here at McLeod though, right? It's everywhere else. But the Y does it.
Yeah,
The Y does it.
The majority of our camps are off-site at
Yeah.
either schools or churches.
So a bunch of financial options to help kids, and then the weekly field trips are like a camp favorite. So it's not it's not like your kid is packed into one room Monday through Friday. There's just a lot of exposure.
Yeah, they'll have field trips weekly. Going to the city pool. They'll go to Explora. The zoo. Name a few.
It
So
was super fun doing camp counseling last year. There was always a different plan each day for the kids when I
Yeah.
was doing counseling.
oh, fantastic.
Joining us on the program, Mark Lewis, talking a little bit about the why. I know you have to be out of the building pretty quick. What is the one thing maybe individuals and friends of the show don't know about? What's the new summer idea or theme here at the Y that we haven't communicated yet?
Ooh, put me on the spot.
Yeah. I'm going to say welcome back. Like if you took
Thank
time
you.
off after COVID, if you for any reason haven't been a regular, no reason to wait for a resolution. Like come now, get your summer started right. This is going to sound kind of weird. Van and I have a very close friend who's taken what's the shot called, Van? Lose weight shot. What's it called? Ozempic.
Mhm.
And he was talking to us the other day about how he didn't realize how important it was to make sure his physical fitness health was elevating the way that his weight loss was occurring. So anyway, I mean, if you got some stuff going on in your life, or if you're pursuing that road, the Y is obviously a really solid option for you as well. So
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Everybody that comes through the door, they're comfortable here.
Yeah.
That's important. So
Until they see Van.
I can make certain demographics very comfortable.
Name one.
Not on this air program.
Mark, thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
When we get back from the break, Josh Gibson's the best baseball player of all time.
Yeah, cool. I can do more of that.
I'll tell you why he's really not. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Back live at the McLeod YMCA, the intersection of Comanche and Tramway. Come see your boys. First month is on Van. Hey, but for real, like, summer is here. Fellas, we know you don't want to be at home with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Come to the Y.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Gibson is known as a spectacular power hitter. By some accounts, Van hit close to 800 career home runs.
Not all that got into the scorebook.
Well, in the Negro League, he apparently only hit 166.
Now, these are just the scorebook that they could officially track down
Mm-hmm.
and that were signed off on. I mean, so many of these games were boycotted. So many of these games that had to be halted because of,
Everyone was late.
that's exactly why.
Isaiah, do you get that one?
Yep, I get it.
That's
Hilarious. That was a quick one too.
no,
And in the chamber.
they obviously had their share of obstacles that they couldn't play a full season. And then the scorekeeping, they never, like, every single game wasn't documented.
No.
So their whole weeks not documented.
They were doing the thing we did in pickup baseball where you just you take your cleat and you put a line in the dirt and you go, we got one. That's what they were doing.
A little more than that. So all the dirt games didn't count.
Yeah.
The ones that were actually like in the scorebook and were signed off by the opposing team, that's what's reflected on Baseball Reference. They didn't just, I mean, you're seeing the games that Josh Gibson played. I got his Baseball Reference pulled up right
Okay.
now. Games he played: 68, 65, 44, 50, 39, 46, 27, 2, 48, 69,
Nice.
49, 46, and 48. Their games were their seasons were significantly longer than that, but these are just the games that they could actually
Find the
100%
Yeah.
account for. So all these stats are like legitimate stats. The
Wait.
stats of Josh Gibson's lore, how he hit like 850 home runs in his career, those are probably legitimate, but you just can't prove them.
He had more home runs than hits. That was crazy. I talk about this regularly whenever I say, oh my God, I can't believe you're the best at the thing that no one is trying to be good at.
Oh, good Lord.
Josh Gibson was trying to be the best black baseball player at the time when no one was trying to be the best black baseball player.
I
You
think
know,
there was a
actually-
whole league trying to be the best black baseball player.
This top 10 list only has him third. It got Satchel Paige and Oscar Charleston ahead of Josh.
Such a cool name.
Satchel's pitcher, and Oscar is a center fielder and first baseman.
Now, Oscar was a stud.
He was the first player to win consecutive Triple Crowns.
Yeah.
Oscar Charleston.
He was
1915 to 1941.
There you go.
Yeah, he was a stud, no doubt about it. But what we know about Josh Gibson, even with Satchel Paige's greatness, I think Josh Gibson's the GOAT.
Of what? He wasn't playing against anyone.
Okay. I would make an argument the exact opposite, that Babe Ruth wasn't playing against anyone.
I'm not saying either of them are.
Yeah.
I'm saying he would barnstorm into your neighborhood. He'd beat up the guy that's the soda pop jerk over at the soda pop jerkin store.
Same thing for white baseball.
I'm-
These guys all had day jobs except for Babe Ruth.
Yeah, how do you really know unless they got to play each other? So I mean, like,
Whoa.
I mean, you can't look now.
They
and
can't
be like,
play
oh, well.
each other. They'd have to drink from the same water fountain. That's not allowed at the time.
Well, I
Ugh.
don't even. I would bet that at some point they did have, like, you know, them play against each before they were like, okay, these guys can join our league.
Oh,
I would
you're,
guarantee there
okay,
have to have been something like that. No,
you're talking about like
That the owners,
Freemasons.
yeah,
kinda,
the owners were so blinded by their racism, they didn't think,
Hmm.
there's no way these boys can play in our league.
That's what they sounded like.
Yeah,
saying?
they don't stand a
then-
chance
No.
playing with the
And then
real
they-
boys.
then they
Old
just start
Four
stealing all the
Fingers
bases,
They'd steal what?
stealing the bases, just pure speed. Wasn't
Hmm.
Jackie was great at stealing the base? Wasn't he?
Look at them celebrate after every hit. Ha! We ought to adapt this. That's
Yeah.
what they would say.
Yeah. If you need a reference for my theory here, Jackie Robinson, obviously the first, we know that very well, was an Rookie of the Year and All-Star his first year, and the MVP of the league in his third year. MVP votes every year of his career except for one.
Yeah, but was he an elevator operator by day, Van?
By what? I'll tell you, this Jackie Robinson kid, he's one of the good ones.
Professional, more like semi. Like what? Why did you just say semi? He's got 2 professions. Like, all right. So did he get married? Did he have a life outside of baseball? Like Josh Gibson?
Had a pretty tortured life. It's not the greatest story.
Yeah, he started at 18. He was picked up by the Memphis Red Sox. Okay, Black Sox. And then played in a game against Scranton, Pennsylvania. Blah, blah, blah. The manager didn't like him. It got cut. Like, what? Okay. I'm learning his career as we go on here.
Yeah.
And Josh Gibson, I can't find like an official cause of death at 35. Like,
stroke from a brain tumor.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is a
overdose. He overdosed.
That's on what? Home runs?
That's
yeah. Very tragic life. His wife died while giving birth to twins. Like, it's not the greatest story. It's not.
Most of his games were through. All right. So the way it used to work, Isaiah, I don't know how familiar you are with this. So you used to be able to be a professional team and you'd have a season of 100 games, right? That's a fake number, but that's a real number. And then the league would be like, only official games on the weekends, boys. And we're only playing doubleheaders so they can maximize revenues. And then you could show up to town with your, I don't know, whatever the name of your team is. You'd show up to town and you could barnstorm against the locals.
Right.
And what they would do is they would pay you and then they would keep the revenue from like tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is actually still kind of used today. Like say if, what's a good one? Say if like the Harlem Globetrotters come to town or something. It's that kind of idea.
Yeah. Like the Savannah Bananas didn't have the internet.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would play these local teams of barnstormers and semi-professionals. Barnstorm was like a old termy term for like weekend warrior.
Sure.
So they would play these guys and they'd make a couple bucks on the side or whatever. And then they'd go and they'd play their official league games on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time Satchel pitching on Saturday, he also pitched on Friday. He also pitched on Thursday.
Both ends of the doubleheader. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It was the whole thing. So by the time these guys were playing legitimate league games against each other, they were gassed from actually getting paid.
Right.
From again, soda jerks or whatever. So
wow,
yeah, just a different day and age, man.
I found a very, very interesting website. So it's got the percentages of each ethnicity in the MLB starting in 1947.
Right.
It's got white, African American, Latino, and Asian. And so, of course, in 1947, it's 0.9% African American, 0.7% Latino, and then 98% white. But between like African Americans and Latino, it both slowly rises up until like the 90s,
Correct.
which is when the Latino matches up to like at 16% both. But then the blacks over time going into the 2000s, they drop back down to 6%, and the Latinos just keeps going up and up and up. From now it's at 27, but it maxed out at 28.
That's the only demographic where it's like the cliche constant hard work and limited resources and it being your only option. Like everyone who plays Major League Baseball now are Mike Trouts and Bryce Harpers and like super rich white kids that can get individualized coaching at a very young age.
Yeah.
That's who makes Major League Baseball. And then like individuals from Caribbean islands that it's the only way off the island.
Yeah.
Like there's no more baseball in inner cities. There's no more baseball the way it was pushed so strongly by Major League Baseball for all those years. It doesn't draw. Like there's
I wonder why it was so high for a percentage for blacks in the 90s, but then like in the 2000s, it goes from like 16, basically cut in half, not lower than half.
Other sports are easier to obtain. One ball, 10 kids can play basketball.
Yeah.
One ball, 22 kids can play soccer. One ball in limited pads, 22 kids can play football. And that's it. It's about resources. Like
and the time frame you're talking about, Zay, is also the time where Major League Baseball was on a decline. Yeah,
really?
Like football and baseball, like NFL, we know how big it is now. It was still on the rise there.
Correct.
Baseball was still king before that. So you're seeing its decline until, they started doing a bunch of drugs, and then it came
What
back.
year was it that MJ went? Was that 90?
Michael
You
Jordan
guys know?
played baseball in '94.
94?
Yeah, he only played for 1.5 years. He never got out of Double-A ball.
So it was 16 in 92, 16 in 93. Then in 94, it goes up to 17.2, and then it drops down to 16, 16, and 15 again. So it peaked in MJ's year. Maybe.
Well, I'll tell you, the peak of the early '90, mid '90 African American baseball player was the success of African American baseball player in the '80s.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Don't
'Cause
look
it's
at
definitely in
don't-
the 18% in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at the peak. Look at the peak's kids.
mhm.
And the peak's kids are the ones that went into football and basketball and left baseball
Nah.
behind and not really have a resurgence until the 2000s.
There you go. Little
Also, I'm sorry to the Josh Gibson family and estate.
Yeah.
I say an estimated 850 home runs. Excuse me,
1,000.
962.
Yeah.
My bad.
It depends where you look.
Yeah.
It super depends.
Yeah, unofficially 962.
Yeah, and it looks here like he hit 425 of those off dairy farmers.
As did people playing in the major
I'm not
leagues.
saying they didn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's not going up against the best pitchers of all time. That's all I'm trying to say. Bus drivers.
Yes. Everyone had to have a second job. They got paid in milk.
Today's I-9 varsity is the I-9 varsity of old-timey jobs that also played baseball.
Okay.
Okay.
I like this.
Today's I-9 varsity. The I-9
Repeat
varsity.
that for me.
I'm writing this down.
Old-timey jobs that also used to play baseball. I'm making a little note here. Old-timey.
Gotcha.
I put a dash for timey. I don't really know how you spell that, but that's what I'm going with. Old-timey jobs where you also played baseball. Okay, got it. Milkman on the list.
Okay, I just processed it. Gotcha.
Took a minute.
We got a special guest when we get back from the break. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report
Clear.
sponsored by Allstate.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, live from the Cloud YMCA. Jock Tony joining us on the program. You grew up in New York.
Yes, sir. Just came back.
Talk a little bit about baseball in the big city. Did you have it as a youth?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was practically Dominican. So I had it everywhere, man. I grew up in probably one of the poorest cities in New York City. And
Hold on, there are cities inside the city?
yeah,
Oh, I can't.
there's
do
5
it with the
boroughs
exception.
inside that city.
Joe.
Mhm.
Joe.
Yeah.
It's Queens.
Joe Burrow.
No, we don't talk about him.
Okay, just thought there was one.
Yeah,
Why
but yeah,
not?
being in Queens, a young boy in Queens, my first baseball team, I just bought it back with me, actually, my hat. I was with the Astros, the Rockaway Astros.
Oh, what happened? You're doing so good when you were young.
I played baseball all the way to high school.
Wait,
Not for the
wait,
Astros.
Hold
Not for the
up.
Astros.
Rockaway is not just a lyric.
Nah, it's a way of life, bro.
Oh.
Far Rock America, stand up.
Is that part of the baseball thing?
No, that's part of the hood.
You don't know it. For the listener at home that may not know about Jock Tony is a black guy, not Dominican at all.
Not Dominican at all,
No.
but they call me
Who's
Big
they?
Papi.
No one does. No
All right,
one-
they didn't. You're
Not
right.
one person.
In high school, they did call me Big Frank, though.
So
I had
Now,
big
why
back.
are you referring to yourself
That's
as
a good name.
Dominican when you're Haitian?
We share the island. We practically each other. Like,
Well, your Haitian family is going to be so pissed off you referred to yourself as a Dominican.
hey. But yeah, baseball in New York City is a
Hard segue.
different monster. It's, I don't know.
So what drew you to football though? Because like you played collegiate football. Like I know everyone doesn't know your story, but like you were a very good football player. You played Division I football. You did not play baseball. What made you quit? Quitter?
I wouldn't say I quit. I'm more of committed
Yeah.
to just one sport at that time. I don't know. Baseball, I started football when I was 5. I started baseball after that. So it was just something to do in the spring more than anything. Played high school baseball also, and played right field because nobody hits the ball over there.
Yeah,
so.
good stuff. Yeah. So the integration of Negro League statistics into Major League Baseball, does that have a level of importance to you? Is this just a Wednesday?
It's not just a Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, you think about the starter of it all, Jackie
Yeah.
himself, and then other, baseball players, who we talk about, Bo, we talk about Darryl Strawberry, talk about all these great black baseball players. It's definitely
Ozzie Smith, number one.
okay. I can get behind that. Yeah.
Ozzie Smith was the
Hank
man.
also,
Number
yeah.
one in what?
Baseball.
Black Cardinal shortstops in the 80s?
Excellent at it.
No, we were just talking about Dion, man. If Dion didn't commit to the NFL, he possibly could have been a Hall of Famer himself. So
Larry Doby was the second black player to ever
correct.
play.
Played for
Was
the
he,
Cleveland
how was
Guardians.
he? Yes, he did.
No, I mean, he was a good baseball player. Like, I'm not saying he's not, but I don't know. Historically, who's the best black baseball player ever? Ken Griffey Jr., maybe?
Ken Griffey, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Barry Bonds?
Willie Mays.
Without the drugs. Barry Bonds with the drugs or without the drugs?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Give me prime Puig.
So
What, you idiot? He's not black.
What 2-week span? Which prime Puig were you talking about? He's Cuban.
He's from an island. That was part of his story.
Just an island boy.
Kidnapped.
He's invited to the barbecue.
That's okay.
Oh, well,
That's-
yeah, for sure.
No one's going to turn him away from a barbecue. He'll bring the
Nah.
entertainment.
It's Josh Gibson. Like everyone is learning yesterday and today that there's a new GOAT. There's a new sheriff in town. His name's Josh Gibson, y'all.
I just don't know. Dude. I never saw him play. That's the part about this thing too, where it's like, what are we talking about? A bunch of dudes we never saw play. I saw Ken Griffey Jr. play. I saw Barry Bonds play. I saw Ozzie Smith play. I said, like, these are guys where I'm like, I know they were legit good because I watched them legit play.
okay, yeah, I could. Barry Bonds was definitely the man. He got a big bat, Barry. So
Did anyone call him that?
I did. We was on the block calling him that. You heard?
CC Sabathia.
CC, that's the man right there.
That was a dude.
Big 300
Could
pounder
sling
throwing
it.
that little thing.
Charleston Charles.
CC was the man, man.
Is that really his name?
Yeah.
Shout out to the Yankees.
You don't just shout out,
Charleston Charles. Sabithia in my life. That was Charles in Charge theme, Zay. Don't look at me like that.
I was a big CC fan because I played baseball at 300 pounds too, so I was a big CC fan. I just ain't throw the little ball like he made it look like a golf ball the way he was throwing.
Why you call it a little ball? It's called a baseball.
When he had the ball, it was small. When you have the ball, it's a baseball. When he has the ball, it's more like a golf ball.
You ever see me hold a beer can? I have like the biggest hands of all time.
Yeah, but you're not CC Sabathia.
You're not CC Sabathia.
You're not 6'7", 350 pounds. Like
Best African American players of all time. Hank Aaron 1, Ernie
that's
Banks
right.
2, Cool Papa Bell 3,
Good name.
Barry Bonds 4, Lou Brock 5,
Stud.
Roy Campanella 6. I'm gonna
No,
go up to
take him
10.
off the list.
Okay,
No.
now that's
Yeah, that's a reach.
not including the Negro Leagues and Josh Gibson, because Josh Gibson 1, Sassel Page 2. Then let's start the list.
We need a real
Okay.
expert on this, like Ken
yeah, because
Burns.
would you say
Yeah.
Negro Leagues was actually like a good league?
You're baiting me, and I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, nice try. I'm into that.
Good enough for what you can give. Stick around with us through the break, Jock. We're going to talk a little bit about the Y. We're going to talk a little bit about your Jets because I haven't had a good laugh in a while.
Oh yeah, I got my new key too, man. Look, I just updated it. I just upgraded it. I got the Jets
Did
lanyard
you?
with the Jets key. I just came back from New York. What you think?
Did you
Updated and upgraded.
Did you stop at like a key kiosk in the airport and get that stupid key made?
Yeah, I did. And Zay, you'll be proud of me. I brought home my Dion throwback. I got the blue one like you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is Zeke. This is Zeke.
Oh, you got the Zeke. Oh, that's so
Yeah, sorry to But I need to get a Dion for sure.
I have a Dion in my closet. It's a 38 Baltimore Ravens one.
Oh wow.
It's super sweet.
And then I got my OJ USC. I brought that back with me too.
Why are you
Oh.
smiling?
OJ
Hit a nerve. Hit a
basketball
nerve.
jersey.
He's
OJ
like, why are you
Mayo.
smiling?
Oh,
Yeah.
OJ Mayo.
Yeah, OJ Mayo,
Yeah,
USC
yeah,
basketball.
Nah, we're
Obviously.
talking OJ Simpson, USC football.
Oh, we got to go. We'll be back. The Sports Animal.
heavy while I'm gripping grain. Fit that bang, I try to tell them it's the game, but they ain't listen. All around the world, this we claim. West side.
Doc Tony joining us on the program.
This we claim. West side. West side. All around the world, this we claim. Cheers.
Summer's right around the corner. School wraps up for Albuquerque Public Schools this week. The YMCA is your reprieve from your children all summer long. Are we still doing open house this week? What's up?
All week.
People coming out?
Yep, 55 plus, no joining fee for you. Everybody else, $5.05 to get joined up. So it's gonna be a fun week.
505?
$5.05. It's been like that all month, man. It was
So
Cinco de
smart.
Mayo.
So smart.
It's the 5th month. We're in Albuquerque. It just felt right for me, you know.
Such a smart move.
I try to be. I try to be.
How's your summer employment going? You got a bunch of kids lined up? You got a bunch of young adults ready to
Yeah, we
be
got
counselors and do all that thing?
definitely doing that. We still need some for camp shavers. So if you're 17 and over and you're listening, or if you're a parent who wants your 17-year-old out the house for the summer, send them to the Y. They can make a couple of dollars.
That's not bad up there because also you get to stay out there.
You get to stay out there all summer, come
Yeah.
back on a weekend. Okay, maybe on Saturday, but then you go back out there on Sunday morning. But it's a good time, though. You
And
think if going to Camp Shaver as a kid is a good time, being a camp counselor is even better because you don't have your curfew's not so early.
And it's legit beautiful out there. And I don't want to be old man on his porch right now, but there's not great cell service out there. So put your damn phone away and see how beautiful the planet
A phone
Earth
free
is.
life? Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah,
dude.
phone free life, email free life. Oh my God, maybe I'll go work this summer at camp.
We're in that weird age where we came up as kids without any of that stuff, and it definitely feels different.
You're just not from Albuquerque, that's all.
What
'Cause
is
Camp
that?
Shaver is definitely old enough to have you had been there also. If you
No,
were-
no, I mean without technology.
Oh
Right.
Yeah. So I don't think I got my first cell phone until I was 16, I guess.
Ooh. Well, yeah, you got some years on me. My first cell phone was 5th grade.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's too young.
That's too young.
Well, I had a cell phone because I grew up in New York City, and I had a great opportunity to go play music at Manhattan School of Music over the summer. And my parents are a little crazy, and they wanted to make sure they can get in touch with me at any time, so they gave me a cell phone.
But we're talking like a Motorola flip.
Oh,
Not like a smartphone with like
You had a
all the
Razor.
apps and the internet.
a
And, yeah.
Razor. No, I'm.
Oh, the
older than that.
Nokia 5150.
That's too fancy too. I had the
Samsung Rant. Samsung Rant was
I had
the
the
best
little
one back then.
Nokia. It was popping because it had the clear case. You know, you could see all the workings of the phone. See that battery right through there. Yeah, I'm a two-way pager kid, man. I had the first sidekick.
I also had a T-Mobile Sidekick.
Same.
Those
Yeah.
sidekicks, man. If you had one of those, you just pulled your phone out for anything.
Yep.
Yo, AIM, bro.
up?
You too young, Zay. We had the AIM popping. Talk
We
about
had like
AIM, I remember my big sister was on AIM. That's how I remember AIM.
I had 2 accounts.
I had like 4, bro.
Yeah,
Whoa.
one for the boys, one for the gals.
Yeah.
Oh, smooth, slow.
Yeah. I had the champ is here and L champ is here.
And
Which
then
one was for
the
which?
AOL chat rooms was popping too. You get to meet all your new best friends that way. Like that was like
You met dudes on there? That's weird.
I met people
Like dudes?
like everybody, people, women.
They,
Well,
them.
excuse me, I was a young boy at
Yeah,
that
you
time,
did
so
not. You
other
Yeah.
young girls and young boys.
It's not getting any better here.
What are you doing?
I was young at the time, so I was still drooling, bro.
I have no idea what I would talk about on it. Sports, I guess, is primarily all we
Yeah.
ever talked about. It was because you'd have the instant messenger up and you'd be watching whatever game Fox was giving you on Sundays because you couldn't at that time pick the game you were watching. And
No.
So it'd be like whatever, like, oh, the Broncos are booty, and everyone was like, yeah, but they can only name 3 players, because it wasn't like the day when those resources were always available to you.
Yeah, that wasn't available.
No, but that's what, like when I was a kid and we had, I don't know, summer. Like I just remember having summer.
Yeah, I
Like-
used to play tackle football in the concrete, maybe break a car mirror or 2 for the summer.
Yeah, I must say, although I'm young, I believe that my friend group, like my age group, was the last one to have a true summer because like we didn't have actual like smartphones when I'd say the first actual, like, I remember when the first iPhone came out, because at first it was just the iPod Touch. The first iPhone came out, I was probably like 13, 14. So when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, it was outside. Just at times it was like the main mission was finding air conditioning. We were outside so much, we're like, all right, whose house can we go to get air conditioning? Because it's too hot out here.
Oh my God, finding air conditioning. You must have grown up in Albuquerque. Nah, we just was looking for we were looking for the water hose, so because you wasn't allowed back then.
I was in college when the first iPhone came out.
Oh man, iPhone. When did the first iPhone come out?
2007.
2007. I was a junior in high school. Yeah, the 3GS. I was a junior in high school. I remember before that, I had the fancy Nextel phone, the whatever 90. Yeah, but it was like one of those flip phones that unfortunately
the
had
black
internet.
and yellow one. I know exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. I went through them. That was in that time. Not you guys don't need my whole life story, but I was like driving around the country, like discovering myself with like a Razor flip phone. But I had a ball in the back. You know, like I'd find like a park, and you could just go hoop. Like it wasn't that weird to just pull over wherever, like play ball for an afternoon and then be on your way for the rest, which I cannot imagine doing today.
Yeah, I grew up on the beach in New York City, so we played a lot of handball.
Yeah,
a lot of handball, a lot of basketball. Well, even though they didn't want to play with me because I was a football kid who played hard defense.
Oh, you couldn't like play well with others, and you thought it was everyone else's fault.
Nah, they always say I was fouling. I'm like, that's why you're a basketball player, man.
Because you were fouling.
Because you were actually fouling.
I wasn't fouling, but I was really good at handball for
fouls.
Nah, I was good at handball. That was more of my sport. Basketball was. I was too big to be running up and down the court. So.
Now, what kind of handball? Like. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we also played like handball, baseball.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
a lot of stick ball also.
Yeah, stick ball too, for sure.
You guys play cork ball? I grew up playing cork ball.
What's that?
Oh, it's wild. So it's a ball. It's about the size of a golf ball, I guess, maybe. And then the stick is a broomstick.
Broom handle.
It's a broom handle.
Yeah.
Oh no, we used to play this other game too. You used to get like your juice tops and put gum in it called Scully. Have you played that?
No, keep going.
You get the chalk out, put a big square, it's got numbers and stuff, and you got to pluck this little thing across the thing to get the little points as you go.
Sounds awesome.
First to 21. Man, I mean, and nowadays we made up games for everything. Every day you was out there playing something.
You were talking about air conditioning. We used to find like shade trees or like gazebos at parks, and we would do like pogs.
Yeah.
We would do like the whatever thing where we didn't move or sweat a lot, but we could still, play for keeps against someone. And I feel like if I were to talk to like hashtag a kid these days, they don't know what a pog is.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I grew up in New York on the beach, so it was a little different for me. If I was looking for AC, I just went to the nearest sprinkler.
We didn't look for AC. Like we would look, like Fred said, like we'd look for shade, and then we wouldn't really worry about water because it was from a time where you could just walk up to your neighbor's house
and get
use their water hose.
Yeah, get their hose.
And it wasn't weird. And you weren't
say
worried about getting shot.
So the AC was like that was more of like a 12, 13 thing. But when we would get denied access to houses, that's when the shade was the natural survival tactic, like instinct. All right, we got to find shade and just lay down somewhere. But often the best spots were far away from the house. So it's like, we go there, we got to walk back.
We had and it was, I'm going to tell you, it was 10 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3 p.m. And that might not be right, but that's what I remember in my brain. We had the Dollar Theater, and you could go and sit in the air conditioning of the Dollar Theater, like during the hottest part of summer days, and you just pop in and out. Like it wasn't even like you were watching all of Ernest Scared Stupid. You were just not sweating like a Midwest kid.
Ooh, look who can afford a Dollar Theater over here.
Dollar Theater.
Grew up, Mr.
Hey, we
Fancy
used to pitch in
Pants.
together, open that back door, man.
Did
We
you
paid
guys
for
have
one kid. Like,
did you guys have the stores with the samples? Was that a thing back then?
Stores
like
with
Sam's Club and like Costco.
Oh, not in
my day.
Oh, no way. That didn't exist
Oh,
yet.
that was the finesse as a kid. You go in, get the AC, and get some snacks.
Oh my God, Zay, how old are you, man? You were spoiled.
We would go straight into Sam's Club. They'd eventually be like, "Where are your parents?" So like, they're in the other section.
We went to go to the bodega. We'll raid that thing. All of us just rush in at once, and then hopefully leave with a quart of water and a bag of chips.
We had a bunch of like corner stores, like I guess which would be bodegas here.
Yeah.
But we were running like
no bodegas in Albuquerque.
There are lots of them here.
There's no bodegas in Albuquerque, man. I just left New York City yesterday. I was at the bodega. Hey, Poppy, let me get us turkey and cheese on a roll.
You're in the wrong neighborhood. Dude. That doesn't exist.
Sure. I was just there.
Yeah. So many of those here.
So, but we were running like a protection racket scheme where it was they'd give us candies or whatever, and we wouldn't knock over like the mailbox.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't knock over like the newspaper stand. It was just understood. Like I don't remember introducing it. It was like the kids older than us introduced it, and we were like, "Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
we won't throw a rock through your window." Like,
there's no way you're going to stop all 6 of us from stealing from you.
Yes.
But you can give us 6 fun-sized Snickers,
Come on,
and we won't.
See, but in New York, there's the one bodega, so you go with your friends today, and then tomorrow you're there with your moms, and then he's telling everything. Like he's
snitching.
Yeah, he was there yesterday. Him and his friends, and they came through. They didn't even slap the cat. I was like, yeah, the supervisor was acting up. Like, so
we were going to talk about the Y. I promise.
We are going to talk about the Y. The Y is awesome, man. Summertime's here. I promise I won't teach your kids none of these things. I'll just reminisce with them, tell them how much fun I used to have. But I was a Y kid growing up too. I had a lot of fun at the Y.
Yeah. What day of class is bodega extortion? Which day is that?
I just feel like it's more of a history lesson than anything. You know, they got to know a little thing or two. Maybe tell them about a kid from the dark side of New York City, and then be like me, like be better.
Summer day camp costs $135 a week, $25 registration fee, $10 deposit per week per child. Second child only $5. YMCA family member or single parent family membership required. If you want non-member pricing, first of all, it's weird to me, but you can call and they will get that out to you. We mention this every time we talk about this. Financial assistance is available through the YMCA. Also, ECECD is available if you have a contract for that.
Yep, and that's filling up fast right now. So if you want summer's next week, so you're already late.
Yeah,
I've been telling y'all for some weeks now. Summer is here now. So, but we got some spots left for everyone, and we also have those sports camps that's going.
Sweet.
Membership that's free with the membership. Pay for a jersey. That's all. And then we also have our athletic performance camp, which is one of our premier camps for those athletes looking to continue to develop for that next level.
The thing I really like about the Y, and I just want friend of the show to do this, the expectation for your child at the Y is a very high expectation, and it's the same for the parents of those. You have the parent handbook still? Are you doing that this year?
Sure do.
And it sets expectation for the families bringing their kids to summer camps or sports programs that there's a certain level here.
Yeah, because we don't want those 90 kids at our Y right now. We want to have some good kids that's going to participate, learn something, do some STEM projects, some craft projects.
Become community leaders, become community contributors. And, and again, we don't ever run anyone else through any sort of negative publicity, but you're familiar with the youth organizations in town that do not hold their families and athletes to high standard. In the YMCA, your kid will come and they will become a good athlete and they'll have a lot of fun during the summer and they will leave a better person. I promise you that.
Promise you that. Building character. That's what we're doing around here.
Jock Tony, your Jets suck. Thank you for joining us.
The Jets are the best. We're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, but we'll win 11 games.
They'll all be in prime time in the very beginning of the year. That doesn't make any sense. 6 out of 8 prime time?
Yeah, because you want to watch us.
It's a lot of hungover work.
You want to watch us.
We're going to watch games with you. I probably when are they on Monday night? First night of the week.
I already bought my Phoenix tickets, man.
That's our first night at Howie's for Monday Night Football. Your watch party for the Jets will be at Howie's to start the year. It's going to be as good as anything's ever done.
I got new Jets gear. I'm excited to wear it all. I'm looking for some Jets sneakers, man. That's what I need next, for sure.
Like Benny the Jet Rodriguez from Sandlot.
I got the official Jets training camp shorts.
That does not impress us.
I'm with it, bro.
Wear them this Saturday when you join me, Van, and Isaiah at Howie Sports Page for our Vaniversary party. It's our 7th annual Vaniversary where we get super weird. It's Two Men On for the McLeod YMCA. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
as MVP for the Jets.
Well, he's finally healthy.
He is very healthy. He's so healthy we didn't even give him a backup.
He was the best running
Typical
back
Jets.
in the NFL the first 4 weeks of his career, and he hasn't been healthy since.
Well,
So
he
get
was-
excited for the first
No,
4
no,
games.
no. He
is
had
what
a
I'm
good.
saying.
He had a decent season last year, even with Cook behind him. So I mean, that's why we got rid of Cook, because he was no use. Because when Bruce Hall came
You're
back,
saying there's too many cooks?
he was cooking too much.
Mhm.
Bruce Hall.
The Jets actually, they broke my heart. They did get him. You guys got a very good backup for him. You guys got that guy from Wisconsin, Braylon Allen. He's huge. He's like he's not Derrick Henry huge, but he's like a big dude. He's a downhill runner. I was praying Dallas was going to grab him, but you guys grabbed him like right before us. in
Yeah.
the 4th round.
Well, I don't really, unless you're the sauces of the world, I don't really count on my rookies too much. So
Yeah, well, if you have like just to be a complimentary to Brees Hall, just someone to come in.
and we have pretty much all of Green Bay's
Sloppy
wide rec-
seconds.
Yeah, sloppy seconds. So it's gonna be a good season. We got best corners in the league. So
The best corner.
that's what
And
they said. I
another
didn't
guy.
say it. They rated every
Whom
position
is
group.
they?
The NFL. They rated every position group, and they put cornerbacks, New York Jets. I was like, oh my god, what do you? What? They were hanging out with Aaron also with the ayahuasca. So
Which
Here's why-
sounds like a good time. Not gonna lie.
Here's why I deep down am rooting for the Jets a little bit. I have a certain amount of respect for Rodgers, me being a Cowboys fan, but I am one of those guys. I don't think Mahomes is great, but I think that Mahomes has made people forget how good Rodgers really is. So I really want him to come back, have a good year, so that I won't seem like such a crazy man. Because I still don't put Mahomes over Rodgers. I can't do it. I've seen Rodgers do too many things.
get
I
you a
just don't
t-shirt.
think I don't trust Mahomes doing it.
Well, now that they got Tariq Cohen on their team,
Yeah.
so I mean, you're welcome. Like, you're loaded in the running back position.
Yes,
He's got fresh legs. Hasn't played in 2.5 years. So there's your guy.
Yeah,
It all comes together.
it's gonna be a good season for us. I'm telling you, it better be 11 games, or I'll still be a Jets fan next year. So it doesn't even matter.
I think the Jets are winning the Super Bowl. And I don't know why you keep disagreeing me so hard. You put all this effort into
Whoa.
disagreeing.
Because I don't want to sound like a Cowboys fan. About this time every year, Cowboys fans. This is the season. This is the season. You've been telling me that since '95.
I promise this is the first year where we are like we don't have very high expectations.
No.
We're all humbled. Last year really did something to us. That burned bad. That was terrible. It was not supposed to happen. And I think we're just like, you guys got to show us now.
See?
You're not doing that to us.
Well, here's
Cowboys
the
fan
thing.
talk. He said it wasn't supposed to happen. Unfortunately, that's how I drew up your season. Also,
Well, it's gonna be both of you guys' teams in the Super Bowl next year. Jets over Cowboys
I don't.
in the Super Bowl.
Dak doesn't even have what it takes to win a wild card. Please.
Well, no, it's not going to be Dak. Obviously, it's going to be Cooper Rush. Everybody knows that. Dak's going to get traded at the deadline for a competent wide
Nah, they just gave him
receiver.
all that money, so they gotta keep him.
If Dallas, Jerry says they may trade for a running back, if they get like a game-changing running back, then you will hear me start talking Super Bowl. But there's no way we can go out throwing 40 times a game and
Yeah.
win the Super Bowl.
And that's why I picked up Zeke again to have some draft, some trade with some draft. That's all he is. He's just a
Jeez.
pawn piece.
I would love Zeke as a backup. Because he can pass block too. No, seriously though,
So
Zeke
funny.
will level a linebacker that comes through there.
Did you
He
not
will.
see his last play
That's
on
a
the
little different.
Cowboys?
It's a little different.
Okay. Don't say he could block after that now.
All right, that's enough for you two. When we get back, we're going to talk about actual good competitive football teams, not you two losers. When we get back, NFL headlines. You're listening to Two Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is
Clear
by FEMA. If you were impacted by the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire, you may be eligible for compensation and not even know it. To file a claim, call the FEMA Claims Office today at 505-995-7133. That's 505-995-7133.
And traffic right now, more slowdowns westbound on I-40. Those are going to start back around Carlisle. They last until Coors. Watch yourself going through there. Also westbound on Montano, seeing more slowdowns. Those are going to start as you approach Rio Grande. They last until Coors. Southbound on 825, Osuna to Comanche, we're dealing with slowdowns. Also congestion continuing right now. Headed west on Paseo, that starts at 925. It'll last until the river. Westbound Alameda right now approaching.
Welcome back to the program. Jock Tony just won't leave.
I sure won't, man.
You need me. You have a family at home,
I
Jacques.
do. I should probably go see them, but I love talking football. You said NFL headlines. I can't.
Yeah, you got up to walk away, and I said NFL headlines, and you just turned right back around.
Did you guys know Josh Jacobs has never caught a receiving touchdown in his 5-year NFL career?
Doesn't need
Wow.
to.
It's a weird stat.
He probably blocks better than Zeke, though.
Not sure what that has to do with anything.
Context, Fred. Context.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, should have been here. Should have been here. It was fun.
Quinnen Williams found out today that this is Aaron Rodgers' 20th NFL season. He reacted the way that Quinnen Williams does, which is it was a planted question. He had a planted response, and you're not fooling me, Jets.
Now, hold on. I bet it was real. They weren't on Hard Knocks this year. Of course, that one's real and natural and not scripted by their media and marketing team.
Why is the NFL like this?
Also, isn't it his 21st year?
I think you don't count one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, we definitely ain't counting last year.
Jawan Jennings is signing a 2-year deal with the 49ers, 15.4, 10 million, 10.5 guaranteed. Okay. I mean,
Dude, the rich get richer.
The rich get richer.
Oh my God, he's like, they just paid $15 million for a 4th string wide receiver.
well, and Tariq Cohen just signed with the Jets, so they're on their
Yeah.
way to the Super Bowl.
No, that's when we get Justin Jefferson. Then we can talk about that.
There's the rumor mill lighting up by Jacques Tony.
I've been telling y'all he's been on the streets of New York since OTA started. So I think I seen him yesterday on the train.
The Vikings have
Yes, he was taking a train.
Sam Darnold and a rookie. Like, you're not getting rid of Justin Jefferson if you want to win more than 2 games.
They're not getting rid of him. He wants out.
Speaking of Justin Fields said he thought all the kick return talk was just real funny. So
Also, why not?
I hope he enjoys sitting on the bench this year.
he'll start the season.
He is going to beat out Russell Wilson.
Nah.
People are
I'm
going to
hearing he
realize
looks
who
better.
Russell Wilson is, and they're like, we got one perfect
Yeah,
Justin
and
Fields.
You're right, Van. That's what I heard. I heard that like just Russell Wilson's track record alone, like Justin Fields is a much better like locker room person, and like Russ is like he literally you can't get a hold of him, and you can be on the same team as him, and you can't get a hold of him.
I'm just saying though, check the numbers. If you think Mahomes is good, Russell Wilson did it almost as good as him last year. Check the numbers.
The Chargers, who 2 times a year play the Raiders, signed former first-round draft pick Alex Leatherwood, who sucks.
Didn't have a great start to his career.
No.
Also, people have a lot of success leaving the Raiders and playing for significantly better organizations. Harbaugh's going to love that guy. Also, they just signed a 7-foot tackle. Alex Leatherwood don't even have to play. You just got to be a really good backup.
You think the Chargers are going to be good this year? This year?
Immediately.
Immediately?
Their
Yeah.
quarterback sucks.
Yeah. They'll be over 500 and miss the playoffs by a game.
Probably about 5 games. I think this is going to be more of a growth season for them. Going from coaching college kids to coaching NFL players is totally 2 different things.
He's already been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's a good coach at every level.
How many years ago, though?
He's going to immediately be a better coach than you in flag football. At
Nah.
YMCA. Immediately.
Nah.
Jim
Personally.
Harbaugh will whip those
This-
loser kids into shape.
The
Holding
Skip
the
Bayless
trophy.
approach.
Year 1.
Bro, I got 6-year-olds throwing 9s out there. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Wrapping it up with Jets talk before we let Jock go. Aaron Rodgers went 10 of 15 today in OTAs. All 5 of those drops were to Allen Lazard.
That's fun.
That's hard to hear. That's hard to hear, man. It's gonna be a good season though for New York. It's because he was doing 7-on-7. He didn't have to hand the ball off to get the linebackers moving, you know. Though when the competition's there, that's when we pick it up. Usually at the end of the season when it's too late.
Nico Collins is going to the Texans.
Justin Jefferson's coming to New York. though.
That's not a real thing.
Mm-mm.
I need to speak it into existence. If I keep saying it, it might happen. Like,
That'd be wild.
Jock, one last time, the best way to get a hold of the YMCA.
YMCACNM.org. Go give us a call, 505-595-1515. Athletic Performance Camp is still opening. Summer Day Camp is ready for you to come. Specialty camps, all of it. Come down, have some fun with the kids. We got karate at McLeod, so you can do some karate with them this summer also with your child. So it's a good time to be a Y member. So
That's wild weird. I love it.
yes, I love it. Families get together, they stay here, communities here also. We're more than just a gym for sure.
Lastly, whenever we get back from the break, before Josh Sushan joins us, it's a double hitter. We're doing our Isham Diddle Soundbite of the Day and our I-9 Varsity. It's 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Clear.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Get a free pneumatic nailer when you buy a pallet of select Metabo HPT nails. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
And traffic right now, more slowdowns westbound on I-40. Those are going to start back around Carlisle. They last until Coors. Watch yourself going through there. Also westbound on Montano, seeing more slowdowns. Those are going to start as you approach Rio Grande.
It was deja vu again last night as the Ice Hopes have now lost the first game in 10 out of 11 series, man. That's
no comment.
That's a tough one. Joining us on the program, friend of the show, broadcaster for the Ice Hopes, Josh Susha.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I don't know if you heard the open there, Josh, but
I did. I heard there was blues in the background, and then the news you were given was kind of bluesy as well.
Yeah, not ideal.
It wasn't our best opener, but also the Ice Hopes have not had a very good opener really all year. What is that hump on Tuesdays for the boys?
Yeah, good question. So here's the thing about so if you're playing college baseball,
sure,
then it's all about the 3-game weekend series, right? And everybody starts their best guy on Friday. And so if you're losing game 1 on Friday, it's more times than not, it's because your best starting pitcher is not as good as their best starting pitcher, right? But that's not the way it works in professional baseball. It's a rotation. And so it's not like it's the same guy every Tuesday. It rotates, literally rotates. So we've had a wide variety of people who have started game 1 of a series. And I mean, look, the other way of looking at it is we're 20 games under 500, so it's not like we're winning on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, and we just can't call this Tuesday, scenario. It just becomes more, you remember the first thing, you just remember the first thing about a lot of stuff in life. And so game 1 of a series, you're immediately in the hole, right? And so the boys got to figure it out. Because it's not fun when you go into game 2 of the series and you're constantly already down 0-1, right?
Is there a energy from visiting player that the Isotopes only have 16 wins and this is going to be an easy week for whatever team?
It's hard to tell because teams are so different and even the personalities are so different.
Yeah.
I can tell you that overwhelmingly, when hitters come to Albuquerque, they are pumped.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're excited to come here. And now sometimes that manifests in 2 ways. Sometimes it manifests in a negative way where they think, oh, cool, I'm just going to swing for home runs because it's easy to hit home runs here, and then they don't. But more times than not, they just, you take batting practice and you just know. Just square the ball up. It's going to carry. You're going to find a gap. So I think especially the teams that come from sea level, whether that's a Sugar Land or a Sacramento or, Oklahoma's not exactly sea level. It's about 1,000 feet in altitude. But nonetheless, hitters come here and they're pumped, Pitcher's different scenario. It's always, there's baseball people are so superstitious that no one ever wants to get out and be like, oh, we're going to easily beat this team. Look at their record. But at the same time, that a team is struggling and you feel like, okay, we got to take care of business.
Big moment in the history of baseball yesterday as Negro League statistics are now official in Major League Baseball. Josh Gibson, Oscar Charleston, and the like are finally getting their flowers. How excited are you for this?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see the process and reading the details about how this has come together, what they've used as a criteria. Because as you guys know, as most of your audience knows, there was not super detailed record keeping of what the Negro League players did. There wasn't an internet. There wasn't, Live Sports Bureau for them. And even with their schedules, a lot of times they would have like an official schedule of 60 games, but maybe they would find out that on the way of driving from here to there, we can play some exhibition games and pick up some extra money. And so even determining what was an official game, what was an exhibition, what was part of a barnstorming is part of an extremely tedious process. And I have enormous respect for those who've dedicated themselves to finding it out. I was reading today about there might be a note in the microfilm that say Willie Mays hit a home run in this game, but if they don't have a box score so that they can line it up with who the pitcher was, with how many at-bats, then they're not counting it. And so they think that they've got about 70 to 75% of the games that they've been able to track. I read that it takes 30 minutes per box score just to input that. And so the amount of time that it takes to go through all of this is just really impressive to me. And, I know there's a lot of debate about whether or not they should count it, how they should count it. And I also really respect how those who've been involved with this say, we welcome the debate. It's part of the process. It's part of the fun of debating what should we count and what should we not count.
Sush, to follow up on that, I think it's as easy as adding another search tab. You have your records for MLB only. You have your records for all of baseball. And like Fred was saying earlier, why not? Let's get Japan in on this too. Let's get Korea in on this too.
Yeah, and the other thing that I also didn't realize until reading about this today is that I just go to baseballreference.com, and whatever is there, I think is like the ultimate answer.
Sure.
But it's not the case, right? The Elias Spurts Bureau is the official record keeper for Major League Baseball. So Major League Baseball's official records are not always going to be 100% what Baseball Reference says. Like you've been able to get really accurate Negro League statistics on Baseball Reference for quite some time, or at least as close that we have to accurate. But that still doesn't mean that they were official. And so even learning the process of what this website had done and how they partnered with Major League Baseball, and then how there was multiple years where they were trying to figure out, well, what are we going to do with the information and what's going to become of it, and now bringing in Retro Sheet and bringing in Baseball Reference in order to help like organize and put all this together, I think is really interesting. But that's one of the things to go back to your question, Van. You go to baseballreference.com and you go, okay, these are his numbers in the majors. These are his numbers in the minors. These are his numbers at AAA. These are his numbers at winter ball, college ball. These are his numbers in Korea. Yeah. And I love that you can just break down all of the different numbers and how easy they make it so that you can really just geek out on all this math.
Do you feel that baseball is the only sport where history matters?
I think it matters more than any other sport. Like, I don't want to say that what Gale Sayers did or what Jim Thorpe did or what, Oscar Robertson did doesn't matter. But there's something about baseball where the history and the numbers do matter. I think that most people, maybe before Barry Bonds became the all-time home run leader, they knew what 714 meant. They knew what 756 meant. They knew what 61 and 61 meant. They knew what 4,192 meant. There's these different numbers that if you're enough of a baseball nerd, you just know what these numbers mean. And I don't have the foggiest idea what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring total is, or Michael Jordan's scoring total, or Brett Favre or Peyton Manning's all-time passing. Like, I have the foggiest idea, and most people, even if they're diehard football fans, probably don't know that number. But we know what 660 means, and I think that that's one of the things that makes baseball special to those who really love it.
Do you feel like you need to relearn history? Do you feel like you need to know that Josh Gibson is this and Ty Cobb is that, and then you fill out the newcomers, quote unquote, from there? Yes and no.
I feel like it's really hard for my brain to unremember certain things that have been in there for so long, I do feel like I want to make sure that I have Josh Gibson's number memorized the way that I have Babe Ruth's 714 and Hank Aaron's 756 and Willie Mays' 660. That also might be a floating number. Josh Gibson's number might change. Right. I remember reading as a kid different books that said, well, he probably hit over 800 home runs. Right. And you go, wow, 800, but probably. Well, wait, how many should we count? I remember reading a biography about Josh Gibson, talking to Petey Gibson, who's, the New Mexico legend, who's his grandson, and about Josh and what do we make of his numbers? And, sometimes the legend is more fun than the actual number. There it is. Sometimes the actual number means more, but sometimes the legend means more.
Like, it's estimated that, this is on the official Negro League website, that Josh Gibson hit 962 home runs. It's impossible to quantify that data and get an exact professional number, because I know you mentioned earlier that they were going from town to town playing 2, 3, 4 games on the weekend and playing 2, 3, 4 games during the week. What do you count? Do you count when they're playing the official Okeechobee Lake Milkers or whatever, or do you only count when it's Negro League on Negro League? And I think a good argument is these are separate leagues. They weren't playing against each other. The Negro Leagues never played against the Major League. So how do you incorporate that data into 2 separate leagues?
Yeah, exactly. I think that I don't know exactly where you draw the line. I know that there's a lot of really smart people who are spending a lot of time thinking about it. And it sounds like what they've come to is that we're only going to count the actual games, whereas this Negro League team against this Negro League team that was on this schedule, and not count the barnstorming. But I still think it's important to understand what they did. Like, they had to start their own league, and in order for the league to survive, they had to play these barnstorming games in these towns against, hey, you got local 9? All right, we'll play your local 9, and we're going to sell some tickets for it. And that's the only way that our league can survive, is by doing those things. So I hope that it's a blend of science, but also storytelling of why it all happened and what we can all learn from it.
Sushan, thank you so much, brother.
You're so welcome. I'll see you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll see you Friday.
Deal. Have a call.
Zay back in the studio. Awesome. Dan, final words?
Too much of the time allotted, my friend. Anything we didn't cover, make sure you check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff and JJ.
Go to Kansas City. Go to the Negro League Museum. Good job, everyone.
The opening drive with Jeff
Clear.
JJ Buck.
I watched two teams in Minnesota